Hello, all. Hope you're doing well. I'm the business analyst and Scrum Master real time trainer. My name is YG Shushruth. Um, and it's been a while since I've posted. Now I'm back. I'll be posting a video a day. So there's lots to come. So today I want to talk about how would I or you can become a business analyst in 90 days. So you might be watching this from India or US or Canada or UK or Australia. You should be able to invest 90 days into this process, 90 full days. So if you work on business analysis, not business analytics, business analysis, to become a business analyst, if you work for 90 days, you can crack interview and get a job. Maybe by the end of the 120th day, you'll be sitting at work. But you have to work on yourself for 90 days. So, this is how I would do it, right? If I were to do it all over again, this is how I'll do it. For the first 2 weeks, learn what a business analyst does and how a business analyst elicits requirements. You have to learn it. So, how do you learn this, right? You, you can get into a training program. Um, that's one way of doing it. Get trained. They will not take more than 2 to 4 weeks to train you. So that's the first 2 to 4 weeks gone, right? So once that period is over, what I would recommend is, so you've done this 2 to 4 week business analyst boot camp, wherever it is that you trained. So you're done. You have that theoretical knowledge now. Now, what I'll do is, if I were to do it all over again, I'll try to connect with a friend or an acquaintance or pay somebody per hour to teach you how to gather requirements in real time and what challenges they face. Have an actual conversation with them. And the way you can do that is because the main the main aspect of business analyst skill set and what a business analyst does is, so they gather requirements, they elicit requirements. That is the core activity that a business analyst does. So the 1 month training that you get, all these folks, all these trainers, that all these training that they give, how to document, how to do this, ask questions, and then they talk about all these fancy buzzwords, one-on-one interviews, brainstorming, um, surveys. So they teach all this theoretical stuff. But 99 percentage of the trainers, what they do not and they cannot teach you is how to elicit requirements. That is the core. But most training programs, they are not going to teach you that. That is the reason why I want you to maybe call up a friend who's worked as a business analyst or somehow find somebody on LinkedIn and pay them by the hour and tell and request them to teach you how to elicit requirements. Meaning, if there is the way you can do it is, so what does a BA do? What is this elicitation? What is this requirements gathering? You go as a business analyst, you sit down with the business team, and they want to maybe build a page in the application, add a page or add a couple of functionalities to that page. So what are functionalities? Nothing, but it could be a drop down with 4 drop down options. It could be a radio button. It could be a new placeholder, date of birth, or you have to type in your name. So that new field that shows up in the application, or you have to type down your address. right? So these are all new functionalities. Or you click on a button and an email is sent to the customers. So these are all new functionalities and features, right? Hope you are getting whatever it is that I'm trying to convey. Or example, another very simple example, we've all purchased items in the Amazon cart, right? The Amazon cart, you go, you put that in, there is some kind of a basket, and then it all your products goes and falls into that basket. That is a feature. So when you go, you sit down with businesses. You'll as a business analyst, you'll sit down with business stakeholders, and they will want to add new features like the Amazon cart. Amazon cart is an example. Like the Amazon cart, they want to add some new features, and you document these requirements. You ask questions and you capture everything. Then you give it to the technical team to code and test so that they can build that feature. In our case, Amazon cart, or maybe a drop down with four drop down options. How old are you? 0 to 9, 10 to 20, 20 to 30. You get my point, right? So you should know how to do that. That is the crux of the job. So I would recommend find a business analyst who's worked for 7 or 8 years, sit down with them, and take any application, right? Take Amazon, because Amazon is a website application. It has a lot of features. Go into Amazon.com, pick up a random page in Amazon.com, and kind of reverse engineer. Let's say we are going to build this page in the next 3 months. How should I gather requirements? So you have that page, and if I have to gather requirements for a page like this, we are reverse engineering here, right? So if I were to gather requirements for this Amazon page, how would I do it? Explain it to me. Now you have something to see, and then whoever it is, your friend or somebody you hired from LinkedIn for on a hourly basis, so they'll kind of teach you how to do it. Or maybe the trainer, right? So you go get trained this 1 month boot camp or whatever it is, right? They kind of do that standard training. They show you documents and all that theoretical stuff. um, Maybe you can request them, hey, I want to talk to you. How much do you charge for an hour? And they might say something, and then ask them, hey, how do I elicit this in real time? Teach it to me. Let them monoplay, right? Let them do that monoplay. Let them monoplay. And then let them teach it to you. Only then you will understand how that elicitation works, because that's the crux of the job, right? So this takes another, I would say, 2 weeks. So now we are 6 weeks into this. So you know how to elicit requirements, and you know all the theoretical stuff, right? I would take another 3 weeks time to learn something called systems. So what is systems? You need, since you are new to IT, and I'm assuming if you're looking into my videos, you are either new to IT, or you are a developer and then you want to break into the business analyst role. Either ways, right? So what is systems? The way I define systems is having a product knowledge of what is front end, what is middle tier, what is back end, what is database. So what are the front end tools? JavaScript, HTML, CSS. What are middle tier tools? Java, Python, .NET. So what are back end tools? Oracle, SQL Server. What is a SaaS application, software as a service? What is that from a product perspective? What is ERP tool? What is CRM tool? CRM is customer relationship management. And ERP is enterprise resource planning tool, if I'm getting that abbreviation correct. These are all, SaaS, CRM, ERP. These are all more or less the same tool. You can use them interchangeably to a certain extent. These you don't have to build the application from the ground up when it comes to SaaS, ERP, and CRM. The application is already built. Microsoft does it, Zoho does it, Salesforce does it, right? So they have that pre-built application. You just need to configure it and use it, right? So what is that from a product perspective? What are SaaS tools from a product perspective? What is API? What is web service from a product perspective? So you have to learn that. That is what I mean by systems. So I would say learn systems, right? And all the topics that I've talked about in this video, just write it down. And from a product perspective, learn all these things. And to add to that, learn what is a batch process, what is orchestration process. So replay this video and write down everything that I said under systems and just get product knowledge. Meaning, if there is a microwave oven, you don't need to know how to build it, but you need to know how to operate it. So if you have some noodles, I don't know, you can put some water and then put it into the oven and then click on that button for 30 seconds. It's going to give that sound, and then you open it, and then you have some kind of noodles. And then if you eat it for a period of 20 years, you might get cancer. But that's another story, right? So, but you have to be able to use the microwave oven. You don't need to be able to build the microwave oven. Likewise, as a business analyst, you don't need to know how to code an application interface, API, or batch process, or orchestration process, or front end, middle tier, back end, um, SaaS application, Ajax. You do not need to know how to. You don't need to know how to code all these things. But from a product perspective, you need to have some knowledge on this. That's where I'm giving that analogy. You don't need to build a microwave oven using screwdrivers and so on, but you should be able to know how to use the microwave oven. So that is the analogy. So have technical knowledge from a product perspective, high level systems knowledge. So learn all these topics under systems that I've mentioned from a product perspective. Use ChatGPT, use Google, use Claude, and learn it from a product perspective. Write it down, have a notebook, write everything down. So this takes another 3 weeks. So now you have like 4 weeks of training, 2 weeks of elicitation discussion with your friend or somebody who's worked as a business analyst. That's 6 weeks, and then 2 more weeks of systems. Now 8 weeks is gone. 8 weeks are gone. There's only 4 more weeks. Take 4 more weeks. Now you have 4 more weeks. This is what I would recommend, right? Hire a professional, pay them whatever it is that they're asking for, 1,000 rupees per hour or $200 an hour or $100 an hour, and consult with them on how to build your LinkedIn. What kind of photo you need to have, what kind of cover photo you need to have, what kind of description you need to have, roles, etc. So get professional help, guys. I've seen a lot of folks who want to break into this field, and then they come to me and then they say, hey, I want to get trained. Okay, I'll train you. I like your YouTube content. That's really great. I'm glad you feel that way. And then I say, hey, you have to pay this much, and they'll be like, no, I can't do that. Can I get something less? And I wasn't even charging them that much, right? That's just grocery money. For people who are based in US, Canada, UK, Australia, I really charge them less. Um, and then it's just grocery money. It's nothing too crazy. That's the amount of money you spend for one good dinner. But they wouldn't spend it here. They'll ask 200 questions, and then I let me think about it. Okay, and then for after a month they'll again call me, and I said, hey, what's up? And they'll still be thinking about it, right? They'll call me, then ask some more questions, and they'll still be thinking, should I give that money to them to get trained? I mean, you've literally wasted a month. If you had started training on day one, you would have been in the market a month early because you wasted a month now and over very little money, but you lost $8,000 or $6,000 because you were thinking to spend like 1/10 of that cost for a full month, for full 2 months. which makes no sense. So my recommendation is pay some money unless you are really financially struggling, then I understand. But pay some money, $100 an hour or 2,000 rupees an hour, whatever it is, right? I don't know which country you are in, but pay that money and get that professional service and get that LinkedIn fixed. And trust me, the market is not doing this. They'll say, hey, they might, 99% of the people feel, hey, you know what? I know how to do this LinkedIn thing. And then they'll do a very poor job. I want you to stand out. So go spend some money, bring a professional in for an hour or two, get the advice, and configure your LinkedIn page accordingly. And do the same for your resume. Work on it for a week, right? Work on it for a week. Make sure it's perfect. Then pay somebody for an hour or 2 hours. Pay them that money. A professional resume person. Get their advice and then make those modifications based on the advice. You cannot figure this out on your own. I know this. I couldn't do it. This is the same mistake that I've been doing. And trust and take it from me. I've learned it the hard way. Take it from me. Get some professional help, right? And fix the resume. Now your LinkedIn is ready. Your resume is ready. Get some good references from your friends. Somebody who can put in a good word for you, somebody who can exaggerate your accomplishments, somebody who can really back you up. Have some good references. Now, this process is going to take, so how much time? So, 4 weeks for training, 2 weeks for elicitation, 2 weeks for systems, um, and again, 2 more weeks for working on your LinkedIn and resume. So, that's 10 weeks right there. And the last 2 weeks, again, get help from somebody on LinkedIn who's worked as a business analyst or your friend who's worked as a business analyst and do 30 to 40 mock interviews. And if you want somebody to take your mock interview, email me or message me or comment below. I'll help you out, right? But pay somebody who's a professional or your friend who's worked as a BA so that they are not going to charge you and at least do 20 to 30 mock interviews and ask them where you are going wrong. So that's 12 full weeks, right? So now in 3 months time, you you are in the market day one in the market. And if you've done everything right up to this, you know how to do the mock interviews, your LinkedIn and your resume is good, you have systems knowledge, you have elicitation knowledge, you've taken that training, and you've been really sincere for 90 full days, really sincere. In another 30 days, by the end of that 30th day, you will be sitting in a job. I can guarantee that much. I don't, regardless of which country you are in, if you are in India, if you are in US, if you are in US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, UK, somewhere in the Middle East, I get a lot of candidates from that area, um, or India. I'm pretty sure if you are in these countries, because I have some familiarity, I've worked with a lot of candidates. I'm pretty sure you'll get a job in 30 days. 30 to 45 days max if they take too much time to onboard you. But you should have put in that 90 days of work. So, hope you've gained something of essence from this video. Please do hit the like button and please do subscribe. And if you have any business analyst related questions, please do comment below. I read all the comments. I'm very interactive. I think it'll take 2 or 3 days time for me to read that comment and respond, but I will respond. Please do comment below if you have any questions or any inquiries. So thank you. Thanks for watching and you have a nice one. Bye.